major, and I just added a physics minor, so I'm starting to work on that now. And then after college, the plan is to go to graduate school and get a PhD in applied math, and then hopefully work in academia. But that wasn't always the plan. Maybe a year ago, I thought I was going to work in industry after college. So how did EHS help in just the transition to Georgia Tech in general, but also like with my decision to become a math major? First and foremost, definitely Dr. P. If it wasn't for Dr. P, I probably wouldn't be a math major just because I didn't really know that was an option. Like I didn't know things that math majors could do. I didn't know you could get a degree in just math. And also the fact that she kind of introduced me to the math competitions my senior year of high school, the math modeling competitions. I know EHS had a couple teams maybe a couple weeks ago that did the M3 competition, which is something that I did. And those were really cool. They're like very applied math and just math that you don't really see in the classroom, like not your typical high school math classes. And that's kind of more what math is like in college. So getting that like first exposure, that was really helpful and definitely aided in my decision. Also just math club and Mu Alpha Theta, or the math community in general at Episcopal, it's very prevalent for sure and like very enthusiastic. And I feel like just, I don't know, all the excitement around it, I feel like it made me think math was pretty cool, which it is. I like math a lot now, or I did before as well, but like it made it a lot more like current in my life, just all the clubs and stuff. And then EHS also, like the classes they offer, talk about all the math classes, but more specifically, I'm referring to like APCS and projects in computer science, which I took both of those when I was a junior and senior at Episcopal. And I just think those classes are cool and just like unique and a little bit niche and not really probably seen at like a ton of high schools. And then also Mr. Flanagan's honors physics class. I attribute all of my college like academic success to that class because that class taught me how to study for sure. And I've used those techniques like throughout my college career. So the first question people always ask me whenever I tell them I'm a math major is, what can you do with a math degree? Like without a doubt, that's what the first thing that anyone says to me. And I used to get really freaked out when people would ask me this, especially when I was a freshman, because I didn't know what to say. Like people would tell me, oh, you can do anything with a math degree, but like people kind of want specifics when you are asked that type of question. But you can do anything with a math degree. And like you can literally work anywhere. Any company hires math majors. Like you have such a wide job opportunity scope as a math major. Like you can work as a data analyst, you can work in like banking, like investment banking, you can be like a quant, you can work for NASA, like you can be an actuary, you can do so many things with a math degree. Like I would say that probably every single company that hires engineers, like any type of engineer, will also hire a math major. And like that just, your options are so much more limited, I think, as an engineer versus a math major. I mean, unless you like know specifically what you want to do, but I like the fact that like with a math degree, you have such a wide variety of options to pick from because like you're not freaked out thinking about your career choice as I guess a freshman because you have a lot of options. So it was college like pre and post COVID. So right now my classes are online, but campus is open, which is nice because people are still here, so it doesn't feel like completely different. In my opinion, I think Georgia Tech's transitioned really well online, and I do like the fact that all the course materials are way more available than they were pre-COVID. Like now there's recordings of course lectures and like the course notes are posted and things like that. Before COVID, if you got sick, you just, I mean, if you went to class sick, you went to class sick and, you know, you got the notes and like the lecture notes and stuff. But most professors wouldn't post lecture notes or anything like that on whatever like school portal you had just because they wanted people to come to class. So if you were sick, you kind of just like, it kind of sucked because you didn't get that many like options to make up for it unless you went to class sick or like had a friend in the class. So I do like now that with COVID stuff, it's very more like understanding. I do miss in-person interactions though, but I will say I have developed closer relationships with my professors this semester and last semester that I ever did pre-COVID. But that I don't know if COVID thing or if it's just because I'm older and like more confident in my classes and I have smaller classes, but definitely like know my professors a lot more or a lot better now. All right, so the type of math I like, I kind of talked about applied math when I was talking about the math competitions. The math competitions definitely like opened my eyes to applied math, and I really liked like mathematical modeling. And when I got to college, I was really looking for that type of math, and I didn't find it until I took differential equations, which then led me to like have an appreciation for partial differential equations, which is that first thing that's listed. PDEs just stands for partial differential equations. And I really enjoy that. Also, nonlinear dynamics and chaos and like dynamical systems and stuff and PDEs, they're all sort of related. This is a little bit more new to me. I just started learning about it this semester or like getting more familiar with it this semester, but I'm definitely gonna continue that after the spring semester ends. And then mathematical physics, which I feel like is a given considering I'm a math major and I have a physics minor. That's also a very vague like field, but I don't know how to better describe it just because I don't have like a really specific niche in it yet. And then linear algebra. I really like linear algebra and I'm actually a TA for it. So that's really fun, which is like a teaching assistant. We like lead recitations with worksheets. So I have a little small like section class thing. On the more physics side, I'm in quantum mechanics right now. I really like quantum mechanics. It's like basically physics like on the smallest scale, like thinking like electrons, particles, stuff like that. Just like not like maybe the honors physics class that some of you might be in, or that's offered at Episcopal. But other than that, I want to get more into general relativity, which I hopefully will get more into this summer when I do research with a professor who's has had experience with mathematical theory and general relativity. So stuff I'm doing right now, I'm doing mathematical research with a professor this semester, along with another undergrad. Like we're doing it for class credit, so it's pretty like official, and we're hopefully working towards a paper that might be published like maybe in a year or so. And that research is all about how a superconductor is affected when a magnetic field is present, and then using calculus of variations, which is super cool, very complicated. I'm still new to it, but I think it's pretty cool. And then I'm also doing a directed reading program this semester about nonlinear dynamics and chaos. So a directed reading program, essentially you apply for it and you like type out your interests, and then they match you with a graduate student at Georgia Tech who has similar interests to you. And like I said, mathematical physics. And then in your match with them, you meet weekly and then pick a textbook that you want to read together through that semester. So I'm reading a nonlinear dynamics and chaos textbook right now. And finally, I just got accepted into a RU for the summer, which is research experience for undergraduates. So I'm going to be doing some mathematical physics research this summer with a professor at Rutgers. Well, who's at Rutgers, but the thing is going to be virtual, so I won't actually be there. But I'm really excited for that because hopefully maybe will lead to another paper, and also potentially get me more exposed to general relativity. Also, just a side note, if anyone's like interested in physics and you don't have to have like the crazy math background in order to read these books, but if you've heard of Brian Greene, he writes really great books, and they're really cool, they're really easy to read, they're like catered towards people that aren't supposed to like know everything about math and physics already, but I like them. He has one I'm reading right now is called The Elegant Universe, and it's got some relativity in there. It's string theory. It's pretty cool. So I would recommend looking at those. Also, if you don't know what PDEs are, which is the partial differential equations that I was talking about, or if you do and you just want to watch a cool video, I highly recommend the PDEs playlist on the 3 Blue 1 Brown YouTube channel. It's very nice to look at. The graphics are really cool, and I like it a lot. All right, well, that's all I have. So I guess I'm open to questions now. Also, if you have any questions for me in the future, I left my contact information there. But yeah, that's it.
Well, Hallie, thank you so much. That was very informative. Do any students have any questions or anything that they want to ask or make comments about? Don't be shy.
How did you come to deciding your major and your minor? Like, how did you come to decide that that's what you're mainly interested in, that's what you want to pursue?
Well,
And Hallie, we're looking at Preston, we're looking at your wall. Can we see something other than Preston's ceiling? There we go. All right, Hallie, go ahead. Shreya has a beautiful question.
Yeah, so I talked to Dr. P my senior year about majoring in math because like I knew I was going to Georgia Tech and I knew I wanted to do something STEM related. I'm not super interested in like biology or anything like that, so I knew I was going to want to do some sort of like engineering or math type of thing. And I honestly just didn't know what all of the engineerings meant. Like I didn't know what a mechanical engineer did or like an industrial engineer did. I mean, now I do, but like I didn't want to pick one, and I figured I could switch my major if I wanted to at Tech, like if I found like a different major that seemed cool. But I knew I liked math, did the math competition, so I knew like that was something I enjoyed doing, and I just ended up sticking with it. And I really am happy with my decision now. For the physics minor, I actually just added it in the fall. So last semester, I'm like taking my first 2 upper level physics courses right now. But as a math major, you like part of your degree requirement is taking physics 1 and physics 2, which physics 1 is basically like high school physics, like kinematic equations or whatever. And then physics 2 is like electromagnetism stuff. So I took a physics 2 last summer and really, really liked it and did really well in it. And I was like, I kind of want to like pursue more physics classes. So initially I was just going to take them just for fun. And also to satisfy a couple degree requirements just for math majors, you have to like take a couple of upper level science courses. But then I was looking at all the classes, I was like, oh, I kind of want to take a lot of these. So I just decided to add a minor, and very happy with that decision as well.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Any other questions for Hallie? Hallie, can you show your beautiful face?
Can I? Sure.
Let everybody see the wonderful person that they're speaking with, who
All
they're
right,
speaking with.
I'll close my blinds too.
And is that your home? Is this
Yes,
where you do all your math?
Here are my textbooks. Yeah.
Okay, we have a question from another teacher's room. Who is the author of your book, Rex?
Oh, Brian Green. Spelled like it sounds, Green with an E at the end.
Book recommendations. Okay, sorry. Thank you, Ms. Verone. Thank you. Hallie, any suggestion? Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, here's one of his books.
That is a fantastic book.
Yes.
I love that book. I have that book as well.
I recommend reading some of it and then watching Interstellar. That's what I did. It was a good combination.
Other questions?
Yes, I do have a question, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Do you know what you want to do after college, or if you're going to like go keep doing research about stuff, or if you're going to go into the workforce?
Yeah, so I used to want to, like, before I added my physics minor, I thought I was going to work maybe in banking kind of, or be some sort of, my mic was muted. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I think someone accidentally muted my mic. But now I'm gonna go to graduate school and hopefully get a PhD in applied math and do some mathematical physics research there. And then my dream is to become a professor, like work my way up to become a professor. But if that doesn't happen, then I guess I would join industry and do some sort of like research work. But yeah, I definitely want to do research for the rest of my life. It's really fun. I like it a lot.
Hallie, any advice for students who feel that they're not super strong now? Do they have a future in any type of math, not necessarily theoretical or advanced degrees, but is it okay that they're struggling now?
I mean, I didn't get all A's in all of my math classes in high school. So, and I'm like pretty successful in college. So definitely, yeah. I think a lot of it when I went to college, I was just not like confident in my abilities. And that really hurt my chances at like doing as well as I could have. So once I realized that I actually could get good grades, I could like try and do well, I guess. I was a lot more successful, but I mean, I haven't gotten all A's in college either. Like, you don't have to be the best student in the class. I think just being like enthusiastic about math and like actually really liking it is like all you're gonna need to carry you through like getting the degree for sure. Or like in any degree, not just like a math degree or just like in general.
Any other questions from the audience?
What were you researching about superconductors?
So it's pretty theoretical right now. There's no like experiment or anything. But there's this thing called the Ginsburg-Landau theory of superconductivity, and that produces some like energy model of a system. I'm using that energy model and applying it to a one-dimensional model of a circular superconductor. And like within that energy model, there's variables that like are related to the superconductor and magnetic field. And so we've already done like the basic one where the magnetic field is 0. So like seeing how this superconductor reacts when the magnetic field is 0, it's just going to stay superconducting if it's superconducting already. And now like the main result or like the main goal of my research is to see like what happens when there's a magnetic field present. So right now, like I haven't gotten there yet, but I've been doing a lot of calculus of variations, essentially just looking at like the energy functional of a system and minimizing that. It's very theoretical. It's really confusing. I like didn't really understand it until maybe a month ago what I was doing. So I'm like, I wish I could say it in more simple terms.
Thanks.
Hallie, can you elaborate on
you can
some
hear
of
me.
the activities that you participated in with the Math Club and Mu Alpha Theta and your leadership positions?
Oh yeah, so I was vice president of Mu Alpha Theta. That was really cool. And a lot of my friends in those clubs did the math competitions with me, and like that was really great. Oh, also I forgot to say that another thing I did at Episcopal was the summer before my senior year. I took a like maybe 2 or 3 week calculus course taught by Dr. P's mom, and that was really helpful. So like it made me way more confident in when I was in BC, like that year after I took the summer thing. I would highly recommend doing it if it's still being offered. But yeah, there was that. I remember a bunch of the math day activities. That was all really fun. Like the problems that we would do in the math club meetings. That was fun. That was challenging. I think those are like some of the closest things to like college type of math that you'd see in high school, because in my opinion, I think like a lot of high school math is not like college math at all. I feel like it's way, I would say college math is way more beautiful. But yeah, those like problems and stuff that we did in the math club are the closest thing to it, besides like the math competitions that you'd find in high school. So I highly recommend going to those and doing them to see what they're all about. Oh wait, yeah. Oh, I forgot to. I literally just pulled those pictures up and I forgot to share them. That was me, my senior year with my math team competition. That was cool. That was for the M3 one. So that was for the 14-hour competition. I think it had to do with using wasted food, or like refurbishing wasted food. Yeah, that's fun. Did I send you the other picture, Dr. P, of when I was in the one in college? I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull that one up. I'm having a little bit. I've got it, and I'm just trying to share it right now. There it is. Do you see it?
I don't see it yet. But it looks like, okay, yeah. I see it. Yeah, that was, so I took a data science course my freshman year, or no, it was my sophomore year, my sophomore fall semester, and that was our presentation. As you can see between that picture and the last one, the ratio is not very great as a math major. So if you're a girl, be a math major, it's great. We need more women mathematicians.
Any other questions from people who are watching online? Well, Hallie, do you have any other last parting words of advice to these wonderful students at Episcopal High School?
Go watch some 3 Blue 1 Brown YouTube videos, the PDE's playlist, and read some Brian Greene books. That's my my parting words.
Thank you, Hallie, so much for taking the time to be with us. I know you have a very rigorous schedule and you have lots of problem sets and other theorems to prove. So I thank you very much. And those of you who are watching it, if you want to write down anything or hear it again, I did record this and I will post this on the Math Club Canvas page, so it'll be available to anybody who wants to watch it again, or if you think your friend couldn't make it and they want to see it. But Hallie, thank you so much. If you wouldn't mind, I'll just put you on hold so that we can do this again during 5B. But thank you to all who oh, I have another thing popping up. Let me see what I see popping up. Oh, another room is saying thank you very much. So thank you, Hallie. Thank you again for all who came. And Hallie, I'll see you during 5B. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for having me.